Hi, my name's Rob O'Byrne and welcome to the final video in this series of using outsourcing to help you get your life back and grow your business. In this video, I'd like to talk about a really easy way for you to start and get into outsourcing. So I've explained so far how you source VAs, some of the sort of pros and cons of different types of sourcing arrangements, home-based, office-based, some of the things to look for with office-based. We've talked about pay rates and all those sorts of things. That's taken me quite a few years to learn all of that, and I've made a few mistakes along the way. The easiest way for you to get into outsourcing and to get your own VA is just to use my team, to be honest. We've gone through all of the pain, we've got the whole thing really humming smoothly, we've got a fantastic office with a great team, people who are really well looked after, so why not think of that as an option? By all means, go and do your own research, but just think about virtual done well as an option. So, and my team is basically office-based. So if you'll recall, I mentioned that I have 8 VAs looking after me, but right from the start, we actually hired additional VAs to support other small business owners and entrepreneurs. So the team has been growing ever since. We started in 2012. And it's really grown like Topsy. So now we do take on a few external clients every year. I mean, we don't want to be a multi-story, BPO. That's not the intention. Virtual Done Well really operates a bit more like a social enterprise. We want to be working with good clients who appreciate great service, and we want to be able to look after our staff as well and give them a great working environment. And in fact, at the end, I'll just mention win-win-win, which really encapsulates how Virtual Done Well operates. So, as I mentioned, we do take on a few external clients each year. In terms of the office, remember all those things that I said a good BPO ought to have? All of our staff get health insurance, they get gym membership, they're sitting at computers all day and we need to get them active and healthy. Probably by the time you watch this video, we will have established a creche because a lot of the staff are actually young mothers. So most would have extended family members looking after the kids, but we think it would be much nicer if they can bring the kids into work and have them looked after, professionally in the creche downstairs. They're not in the office, don't worry. So they have all of the IT support. I get paranoid about internet speed because if you don't have good internet speed, it can make things really difficult. We have about 5 different internet providers, all of different speeds, and depending, because not only we haven't got just a backup, we've got a backup to the backup and a backup to the backup. Some of those are very high speed lines because some of the staff are working on video editing and things like that. Others are, perfectly adequate for normal day-to-day tasks and phones and things like that. So the IT support, they have great HR support. I mentioned earlier they have, dedicated supervisors looking after them. We have lots of ongoing training. In fact, we recently instigated a system, we call them crew coaches, and a couple of my team are crew coaches. So what that means is that, if you like, they're subject matter experts on particular areas, might be particular systems or using Microsoft Office or something like that. And everybody in the business knows who the different crew coaches are. They're all sort of posted up on the wall. And if I need help on maybe using Infusionsoft or Trello, I know to go and talk to Leah because she's the crew coach on those systems. So as well as the formal training, we have that as well, that anybody can just talk to the crew coaches and get some additional training. So we make sure that they all have bank accounts, so they're getting paid promptly and properly. We make sure that all the taxes are paid and all the sort of statutory things are met. All of our contracts are done fairly and within all of the local rules. The salary scales, we always like to be a little bit above market on the salary scales because, at the end of the day, we want people to feel valued and well rewarded for working there. So that's kind of a little bit about the office. In terms of the culture, I mentioned on an earlier video how we do the lunch test. It's very much a family culture, and it's quite amusing when new staff come and join Virtual Done Well, and they've come from one of the big BPOs. They kind of go, "This is a bit strange. It's really relaxed. It's not stressful." In the big PPOs, you get fined if you clock in a minute late. The sort of performance measures are very draconian. We'd much rather work in an environment where people are empowered and they accept responsibility and accountability for their tasks. So we're not running around hitting people with sticks, not literally, but metaphorically. It's a culture of you're expected to get the work done. There's plenty of support, there's training, get the work done, you're well rewarded. If you don't get the work done, you're going to be spoken to, and there's a very robust system of management interviews with people who might be falling behind a bit, and they soon pick up. So all of that is very carefully managed. They are just a phenomenal group of people, to be honest, providing outstanding services, and I am never cease to be amazed at seeing them step up and learn new things and start doing new things for their clients. And it's just a tremendous environment. All of our VAs are great, all of our team leaders are great, our management team is great. And this thing down the bottom here, I mentioned, we operate Virtual Done Well a little bit like a social enterprise. So I'm not intimately involved with it day to day. I am with my team who work in the Virtual Done Well office, but actually one of my staff here in Sydney oversees Virtual Done Well. We have a very good local general manager for Virtual Done Well, and I mentioned it kind of operates a little bit like a social enterprise, because how does this win-win-win operate? Well, you win for a start, because you're getting outstanding virtual assistants, well managed, motivated, well looked after, well suited to whatever task you want. Our staff win because they get really well looked after, they're well rewarded, they're working in a really nice culture, nice atmosphere, so they love working there. And you might be wondering who this third one is. Well, like we do with all of my businesses here in Australia and Thailand, with Virtual Done Well, also, we give a proportion of our income to charity. And there's a couple of ways that we do that. One, we operate through a global charity organisation called Buy One, Give One. The concept there is if you buy something from us, we give something to somebody in need as well. So that operates, and a proportion of revenue goes to that. But also, what we do with our Philippines office, which I should mention is in Davao City, way down south in the Philippines, we also support local charities in Davao City, and the staff themselves pick which charities they would like to support. So this year, it might be a local orphanage, or it might be helping homeless people, whatever that might be. It's whatever really resonates with them, and again, a proportion of revenue will go to those local charities. So it really is an awesome business, win-win-win, you, the staff, and those in need as well. So that comes to the end of the video series. I hope you've learned something about outsourcing. If you haven't considered it before, it is a tremendous tool. It's like the secret sauce for small business owners and entrepreneurs to build their business, reduce the stress levels, get their life back. If you remember my story, working 80, 90, 100 hours a week, doing everything. I'm now running 6 businesses. I'm working half of those hours, and I'm having 3 months holiday a year. Life is good, and it's from support of wonderful people like those at Virtual Done Well that allows me to do that. And these are such great people. I think I mentioned before, my team particularly all get to come over and visit us in Sydney. They actually come and stay at my house with my wife and I. And they've almost become like family. They really are terrific people, and great to work with. If you need VAs, come and work with them too.